하나, 둘, 셋! 안녕! Today I'll be going over the best K-dramas of 2020, so let's get right into it. First up is 슬기로운 의사생활, or Hospital Playlist. Here the cast is made up of 조정석, 전미도, 유연석, 김대명, 정경호. This story revolves around 5 friends who are all doctors in the same hospital, and it's mostly a very simple story, which the overarching theme is just their friendship, but it includes like their relationships with patients and with fellow doctors. I think it does a great job of showing what being a doctor is like because it doesn't dramatize anything, but it's very real. I mean, obviously there are some cases where it couldn't happen in real life, but I feel like it's probably one of the most realistic medical dramas. Because of its popularity, the show also had a season 2, which was just as good. I highly recommend it. It's all the stories are just really heartwarming, and I think it inspires a lot of people to even consider becoming a doctor because it shows the responsibilities and the good and bad sides of being a doctor. Next up is 구미호뎐, or Tale of the Nine-Tailed. The cast is made up of 이동욱, 김범, 조보아. This story is more fantastical as it deals with the legend of the nine-tailed fox, and 이동욱 plays a human form of this fox. And he gave up his position as a mountain god to resurrect his first love. So he's been living for hundreds of years to find the person that she's been resurrected in. And then he meets a TV producer who looks exactly like his first love, but then they become entangled in some supernatural world and powers. And you'll see how their stories are slightly interconnected, but there's also other factors that make it even more complicated. They are currently filming the second season of 구미호뎐 called 구미호뎐 1938, or Tale of the Nine-Tailed 1938. 이동욱 and 김범 will be in the second season, but unfortunately 조보아 won't be joining them. Next is Startup, which includes 배수지, 남주혁, 김선호, 강한나. This show is about young entrepreneurs who are competing to enter high-tech industries and hopefully build their own businesses in the future. And a love triangle is included in this story, and it's what it's more focused on. And Suji is interested in her first love, who is Kim Sun-ho, but she thinks it's Nam Ju-hyuk because he's pretending to be her first love. So you'll see how Kim Sun-ho and Nam Ju-hyuk have to work together but also compete at the same time for Suji. If you are interested in this career field and you want to make your own business in the future, you might want to check this out because it does include some aspects of their projects and how they work towards their dreams. But obviously the story is mostly about the love triangle, so it'll mostly become more about Suji and Nam Ju-hyuk and Kim Sun-ho. Next up is Penthouse, and here the cast is made up of 이지아, 김소연, 유진, 엄기준, 신은경, 봉태규, 윤종훈. This story takes place in a wealthy penthouse called Hera Palace, and it focuses on one family, and this wife finds out that her husband has been hiding some things from her, and when she discovers them, it becomes a more penthouse-wide issue, you could say, where everyone is interconnected in these problems. This whole show is based off of drama. There is so much betrayal, secrets, and in Korea it really became famous because of its plot twists. There are 3 seasons of the show, but I have to warn you, a lot of people did get frustrated because there were so many plot twists and so many dramatic scenes. Next is 여신강림, or True Beauty. Here the cast is made up of 문가영, 차은우, 황인엽. This show is based on a webtoon, and it's about this girl who is bullied for her looks, so then she finds these YouTube videos on how to perfect makeup, and eventually she can transform her whole face into looking like a completely different person. And hence she becomes like a goddess, which is why the name is 여신강림, and 여신 is a goddess. Because her makeup skills are so good, she has to hide herself. She almost lives two identities because when she goes to school or when she goes out to hang with friends, she always has on a full face of makeup. So when she's just going to the market, going somewhere local in her neighborhood, she just goes out with a bare face, so people don't recognize her. However, one day she's caught by the most popular guy in school, who is played by Chaunu. Because she begs him to keep her secret, she almost lives like a servant for him. If he needs anything, she'll always get it for him. And then eventually there becomes a love triangle between her, Chaunu, and Hwang In-yeop, who is Chaunu's ex-best friend. Rather than the main story, there are some side plots, you could say, and these are just as interesting. I would definitely check it out because the message, I believe, is better than the webtoon, personally for me. And the visuals and the slight references to the webtoon are just fun. Lastly is 사이코지만 괜찮아, or It's Okay Not to Be Okay. The cast is made up of Kim Soo-hyun, 서예지, 오정세. This is about Kim Soo-hyun, who is a caregiver and lives with his older brother who has autism. They're both orphans, so ever since they were younger, Kim Soo-hyun has always looked out for his brother. He works at a psychiatric hospital, which is where he meets Seoyeji, who's a famous writer, but she's antisocial, and she also has some problems from her past. So together they heal each other, and Kim Soo-hyun, who has this facade of always being strong and acting like the older brother, kind of breaks down, and you can see how they both heal each other. A lot of people like this show because it touched on many sensitive topics regarding mental health, and it also included just really heartwarming moments. And the actor who plays the autistic older brother, Oh Jung-se, he actually was reached out through a fan who had autism or ADHD, and he took out this fan to the theme park and just spent the whole day with them. This truly opened up the eyes for so many people because in Korea, it's not very common to meet someone with ADHD, or it's a very taboo topic. So through the show, the perspective on people with autism, ADHD, or any other disability, their view was significantly changed. That was it for the K-dramas of 2020. There are definitely more, like 그 남자의 기억법, 더킹 영혼의 군주, 편의점 샛별이, 낭만 닥터 김사부 2, 이태원 클라스, 부부의 세계, 모범 형사, 악의 꽃, 비밀의 숲 2, 브람스를 좋아하세요, 18 Again, 경이로운 소문, 철인 왕후, 런온. If you haven't already, maybe some of these can be added to your list of K-dramas, or maybe you've already watched some of these and they're your favorites. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you next time. 안녕. 하나, 둘, 셋.